Being at a point where you actually attain that particular goal that you've been working so hard for, sometimes years, sometimes months, and then you get there and it's kind of like, what comes next after this? The thing is, you might actually not be alone. And for some people, they might find themselves holding themselves back because they're scared of what comes next after they've attained that thing that they've been striving for such a long time. So in this video, I'm going to be covering with you how success and why success is actually a lifestyle, not just a one-time event, and also how to navigate the what comes next after you've attained that North Star that you've been working so hard for, and also helping you identify practical steps that you can start taking now to develop a champion's mindset for lifelong growth. If you're curious about this, make sure you tune in for the entire video to get tips on how you can embody this beautiful mindset as you go through your journey. Hi, my name is Eva. I'm an intuitive healer. I work with two modalities, one which is based on working with Akashic records, it's called Soul Element, which is all about helping you get in touch with your true self, your most authentic self, helping you release anything, any blockages, any stories that have been keeping you away from connecting to your most authentic self. And the second one is called Quantum Flow, which is all about rewiring your nervous system and helping you release any stored memory of past trauma, past emotional wounds that might still be in your nervous system that sometimes you're not even aware of, but actually impact your day-to-day operations. So if you're curious about this, make sure you tune in until the end of this video, where I'm going to be sharing with you how these two powerful modalities can help you accelerate your healing, your growth, your transformation, and really embodying your inner master self in this reality we're currently in. So I love starting my videos by sharing my lesson for the week. And the reason for this is that, my one of my intentions is always aiming to be better than I've been in the last week, in the last month, and all of that, and actually seeing my progression as we go. And this week, it was a really powerful reminder from one of the greatest athletes that have ever walked our physical reality, Kobe Bryant. And he was saying that one exercise that he actually does for himself at the end of every night, a beautiful practice that you can actually start incorporating for yourself, is that at the end of the night, before you turn in for the night, before you get into bed, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you ask yourself the question, did I do better than I did yesterday? Okay. And you keep asking yourself this question over and over and over again. And as long as your intention each and every day, as soon as you wake up, is aiming to be just, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be big, because this is where most people get stuck. They're trying to do so much and then giving themselves so little time to actually accomplish that. But if your intention is just to take the next step forward, you're further along than you were yesterday. And if you keep doing that and you let that accumulate over the months, over the years, guess what? At the end of this year, at the end of 3 years, you're going to be so far along on your journey, so much so that it's actually going to shock you as how much ground you've actually covered for yourself. So this week was a powerful reminder for that. And the other thing I'd love for you to reflect on, which has really helped me with this week, is ask yourself at each and every moment, is the action that I'm taking right now, is the choice I'm making right now, if I actually allowed myself to do this for the next couple of months, couple of years, am I going to be better off than I am currently right now? Because most people are usually hiding from what they need to do, because of course, fear is the driving force with that. But the thing is, if you kept doing what you're doing currently and you stuck to that for the next 1 month and couple of months, where will you find yourself? Because as long as you're not tapping into what you're supposed to be doing, I'm assuming that if you're taking actions that take away from what you know you're supposed to do, in a couple of months, you're going to be way worse than where you currently are. So constantly ask yourself that question. When I'm taking this choice, when I'm taking this action, right now and doing it consistently, is it going to be making me better in the long run, or is it going to make me worse than I am right now? And then once you identify what that is, if it's an action that's aligned with what you want to accomplish, keep doing that. If it's not, do something else. So those are my lessons for the week, and I'd love to hear from you. How have you grown in this last week? What aha moment, what insight have you gathered in the last week that you might actually want to share down below in the comments? Because you never know what powerful statements you can make that can actually help someone else with whatever they're struggling with. So do share down below because I strongly believe that we can learn so much just from each other's journeys. So now back to today's video. So one thing that I'm sharing this because this is something that I've been working on for the past year plus. It's the fear of success. And it for such a long time, it normally used to boggle my mind, like, how can you fear success? Isn't that what everyone wants? But yes, you could be consciously saying that I want this, but in your unconscious mind, with the limiting beliefs that you have, they cause you to take actions that sabotage that success, you getting to that point over and over again. And why is that? One of the reasons I found is that what happens next after I've gotten to that goal that I've been working towards? For some of us, it will take years. The ones who are lucky, maybe months, maybe weeks, I don't know. But sometimes that North Star, it seems like it's such a huge goal that it frightens you. First of all, frightens you so much because you're like, will this ever actually happen for me? That's one. And when it does, what then? So yes, on the inside, like before you get there, you're still putting in the work, but you're never allowing yourself to take that step that once I take this, it's like boom, it's gonna get me to that North Star. And so many people hold themselves back because of this. And one thing that I've actually discovered is that you never stop yearning, you never stop growing, you never stop evolving. It's literally a lifelong process. So that pinnacle that you're thinking that once I get here, this is it, I've made it, you actually never get to that point because the minute you get to that point, there's always something else to work towards. There's always going to be something. And I'll tell you from my perspective, when it comes to spirituality, because I love reading about anything to do with the universe, spirituality, metaphysics, anything that gets me to the next level. When I started, and I was starting to get exposed to this deep concept. Every single time, I will always think, this is it. This is all I need to know. I'm already where I want to be at this moment. And funny thing is that anytime I thought that this was it was always unlocking something else, something deeper, some deeper spiritual truth that I could never have envisioned because I was still stuck in that limited way of thinking. So as you're expanding, the thing is, there's always more to expand to. So you might be holding yourself back thinking that if I get there, then I have nothing I'm working towards. And then what? So you're constantly self-sabotaging yourself so that you don't attain that success, so that you always have this weird drive and this need that you're working towards something. And by the way, it can actually get very addictive. Maybe you're watching me and you're kind of resonating with that. And I'm here to tell you that, again, it's a lifelong journey. You never stop. It only unlocks the next levels for your awakening, the next levels for your growth. So once you attain that North Star, there's always going to be another North Star for you to work towards. Sometimes it might take a couple of weeks, it might take a couple of days, it might take a couple of months for you to get there, but there's always going to be something. This is how the universe is constantly changing, it's constantly evolving. So you never stop creating. That's literally one of the reasons why you're here, to learn how to create. And creation never stops. So there's always going to be something else. And I'm going to tell you how I tapped into this powerful mindset. It's when I'm watching athletes, the champions of this world, whether in NBA, in football, and all of that. And year in, year out, there's always competition, always something that they're competing against, and that title that they're trying to gain for themselves. And the thing that amazes me is that even after they've gained the cup, they've won the championship, whatever title, they never stop. They keep showing up because there is still something else. It never stops. They keep doing the work. It's not that once now they have that, they're holding that World Cup or whatever, at the end of their championship, you know, run, that's it. There's nothing else to work towards, no? Maybe they'll celebrate for like a couple of days, but on a particular date, they're back to the usual routine. So they're still waking up early, still doing the exercises, still making sure they're fit, still coming up with and working on their strategy so that they can get it right for the next year. And that happens over and over again. One of the TV shows that I actually enjoy watching is a cooking show called Tournament of Champions, where you find that it's the best of the best chefs in America who meet together and compete year in, year out for that, belt of being the best chef amongst all these mastered chefs. And trust me, this is the best of the best. These are people who've won titles and won competitions over and over again. So essentially, they don't even actually have to do this because if it's a matter of proving themselves, they've proved themselves over and over again by winning all these titles and all these competitions that they've been part of, but they still show up for this competition to prove that, you know what, even among all of you, I can still be the next person in the I can still be the one who's holding the helm. And there's this one particular chef who just amazed me because this chef actually won in the second round or the second season of this program. And this chef is actually one of the best chefs that I've actually ever watched. And every single season, even with that belt, she still shows up even better than she was before. Because you will think that, and this is what happens with most people. Once they get to that point, it's kind of like, okay, so I'm here, so I don't need to put in the work. But this chef constantly proves her mastery, and she's proven herself over and over again because every season after, she always gets right to the very end to the final two. She's always there. It's only that after the second season, she hasn't been able to win, but she's kind of like always in the final two for some reason because she mastered her craft. And every single year, she always comes to prove that she's actually good and challenge herself to be better, which is literally what we can apply in our lives. So it's not like once you get to the North Star, you stop putting in the work. You still have to put in the work because there's still something more you can expand to. There's still something more you can challenge yourself. If you're not putting yourself in a situation that forces you to grow, we never get to actually that mastered level of ourselves. And here is the thing, another thing that I've discovered, it's that you can't even begin to conceptualize what your mastered self looks like. You can't even begin to think like that. Like even imagine that because whatever you're doing right now, it's still coming from a limited point of view. Why I say this is that now again to the story of this chef, everyone thought, or so many people, or I'll say I'll speak for me. I don't know if other people thought this, that a champion winning this title again, probably impossible, right? But this chef has constantly been showing up again and again and again. And guess what? In the last season, which was running last year, this chef ended up winning again. So now she has two championship belts. And all along, it kind of seemed impossible. But she's unlocked a new level of mastery, not just for herself, but even for the chefs around her. Because maybe someone there was thinking that once you won it, that's it, you're never going to get to the top. But she broke through that barrier and showed, yeah, it's actually possible. And who knows, she might go for the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. But by doing so, by embodying her mastered self, it's not only herself that she's challenging everyone else to rise up to the occasion so that they can do themselves that for themselves as well. So that, because what happens with human beings is that if we have not seen it done, for most people, it always seems impossible until that one person has the courage to break through that barrier and then, boom, it awakens the possibility for everyone else. So when you're embodied, when you're expanding, you're not just in service to yourself. Of course, you getting to that North Star and then aiming beyond that is, of course, the desired goals for many, but it's not just about you. It's actually making it possible for other people to believe in that for themselves so that they're not also constantly limiting themselves. And we need more examples of this in society because not everyone has the courage to go and get the work done. But as long as you can look around you and see people embody that mastery and keep on showing up with the discipline and the consistency, like it never even happened, then you can also do that for yourself. So do not think that just because I've attained that job that I desire, that relationship that I desire, that that's it. There's nothing more I need to do that. If you actually have that belief system that once you get there, then everything is gonna be happy and life is just gonna, that never happens. So how do you plan for what comes next? So what I will suggest to you is that once you get there, maybe you're already there right now, you have to give yourself time to integrate this new vibrational state that you're currently in, which a lot of people actually don't do for themselves. So give yourself a period of time. It could be weeks, it could be months, just to allow yourself to enjoy this new vibration. Maybe you've attained your financial goal. For some people, because it feels so uncomfortable getting to that success, they'll start self-sabotaging. So once they've attained that money that they've been desiring for such a long time, they now start going on a spending thrift because they're like, this is too weird. I've never been a multi-millionaire before, so how do I get rid of this fast so that I can go back to my broke self? My broke self is what I was used to. So that feels comfortable. You've seen this example with the people who won lottery where they win such a huge amount of money, but because they were not in the vibrational state to embody, they do what they can just to get rid of that money as fast as possible. This is literally what happens. Okay, for some people, yes, you might get that relationship that you thought once I manifest that perfect partner, then that's it. And then you get there, and then those limiting beliefs, those limiting thought patterns start coming for you, telling you, yeah, this is not going to last. And then you start acting from that and doing all you can to sabotage that. And I'm sure you might be watching and resonating with me, like, maybe not with the examples I said, maybe with other examples, but there's always that something. So don't sabotage yourself. Have, now here's my tip for you. It's number one to allow yourself to integrate that vibrational state. So how do you do that? First of all, by not running away from the uncomfortable emotions that come about once you've attained that, because it does feel uncomfortable. That's why you go into these self-sabotage patterns to get you back to your comfort zone level. It's to allow yourself to sit in that glorious moment and allow yourself to celebrate that, to feel the joy. Don't run away from it. So feel that feeling and let yourself, if it's elated feeling, just allow yourself to feel that. Don't go immediately into action to get yourself away from that, okay? Number two, again, give yourself time to integrate this. So when you've manifested that financial goal, a beautiful practice you can do is that allow yourself to just don't even touch that money. So maybe you have millions right now in your account. Don't touch that money. Leave it there. Don't go into a spending thrift or something just because you have that money. Let it sit there. Allow yourself to really get that feeling of, oh, I never have to worry about money again. I never have to look at purchases and think to myself, oh no, I can't afford this. Now you can. You can afford this. So allow it to just sit. Could be a couple of weeks, could be a couple of months, however long it takes for you to get used to that feeling of, I'm a multimillionaire. Okay. And once you've integrated that, as you're integrating, don't stop doing the work that got you there. That's the third tip I'll give you. If you had to wake up every morning to do perform certain actions and all, you keep that up. Don't stop. Act as if you haven't even manifested that North Star for yourself. That will be the best thing you can do. Like you keep going as if it hasn't happened yet. Like it's just a normal day occurrence for you to have millions in your account. It's normal. So you keep waking up, you keep showing up to the work that you were doing before, you actually manifested that particular North Star for yourself. And once you've integrated it, once you've gotten to that feeling state of, oh yeah, I am actually abundant, I can afford everything. Now you start spending. And again, be wise about it. So don't just go all of a sudden, I'm going to withdraw everything and just go buy something crazy. Plan for what comes next. And that, when you're integrating, is usually the perfect moment for you to plan. Not the perfect moment, one of the perfect moments for you to start planning for what you're going to do with that state. So if, for example, it's a relationship, maybe you've worked so hard to get into that feeling state of having that partner. Once you're there, allow yourself to enjoy that, to enjoy the relationship, but also plan on what happens once I'm in this relationship. What do I need to keep on doing? How do I need to keep on showing up so that we don't lose the magic between me and my partner? So you're starting to plan for that and starting to take actions to start now embodying that, okay, in your day-to-day life. But another way to actually 10x this for yourself is plan for what comes next before you attain that particular North Star. So before you attain the millions, have a plan, have a structured plan, and make sure you honor it. Of once I have these millions, this and this and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay off my debts with this. I'm going to register for these courses. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy it. And really make sure you have an idea of how you're going to manage it. Because what happens is that most people don't have a plan of what they're going to do once they attain the North Star. So again, leading to the self-sabotage patterns. But once you have that plan and you've gotten used to it, then it means you're not going to be lost like a deer in, starting headlights. You're going to know exactly what to do so that when it happens, you're not stopping, but you're actually hitting the ground running so that you can get to the next part. And funny thing, when you're doing this, when you're co-creating together with the universe, again, I've told you, creation is an ongoing process. So you never stop. So once you have these things put into place, you'll find that even before you've allowed yourself to fully integrate this, there's something else that comes about for you. You're like, okay, so this is the next thing I need to work on for my next North Star. It will just come. It's so weird because it's happened for me, like especially with spirituality, where I thought that this was it. And then just when I'm having that egoic, because it's a very egoic kind of way of thinking, where you're thinking you know everything, I'll find a teacher in the most weird synchronistic way. I'll find a teacher, I'll find a book that just takes me to the next level, that opens up the next door for me. And that's going to constantly happen for you because as soon as the universe is like, okay, this is it opens the next door for you because you've gathered or gotten the key for the next level. And this is how you make success not just a one-time event, but a lifelong journey for yourself. So I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Do share down below in the comment box. I'd love to know, how can you start integrating these steps that I've shared with you in your current life right now before you manifest, and also having a plan for the after your manifested stage to allow you to integrate and allow you to get to the next level, because you never stop growing, you never stop evolving. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And also do like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any content I put out here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I did promise I was going to share with you at the end of this video how the two powerful modalities I work with can actually help you in your growth, in your transformation, and actually making the process not as painful as most people assume it's going to be, because it doesn't have to be. Once you have a planned step of what you need to do right now and what choices you need to make, that is what you actually get with the soul alignment. And then in quantum flow, it makes that step easier, your next step easier, because it's going to be helping you release all these limiting patterns and belief systems that have kept you stuck in your trauma, in your pain and suffering, and help you get addicted to that rather than that embodied, mastered, abundant self that's actually available for each and every one of us. So let me share my screen just to help you understand. I have launched my new spiritual mastery program where I'm going to be working with you one-on-one. If you're actually struggling with the following problems. So if you're feeling emotionally drained and disconnected from your life's purpose, if you've been feeling stuck in your limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns that are preventing you from actually getting to the next level of your journey, if you feel like you're struggling with too much unresolved trauma affecting how you show up in your daily life, if you're feeling like you're lacking inner peace and struggling with stress and anxiety over and over again each and every day, if you're struggling with mental fog, difficulty concentrating, and constantly experiencing emotional overwhelm as you're going through your day-to-day life, If you're feeling like you're lacking clarity and direction on your spiritual journey, like what do I need to do to connect to myself, to remind myself of who I actually am? If you're feeling like you're looking for spiritual guidance, but you're unable to actually access those deeper states of yourself, of your intuition to know what comes next, what do I need to do next? And also, if you're lacking connection to your divine soul blueprint and your true self, and also lacking the ability to manifest what you actually desire for yourself, this spiritual mastery program will be a great fit for you. And the outcomes, as listed on the screen right now, is you're actually going to start feeling deeply connected to who you are, to your purpose, to your really tapping into your inner mastery, your inner peace as you go along with me for the next 6 weeks. You're going to start feeling more deeply empowered, and you'll have newfound clarity and spiritual wisdom that you never even tapped into or even knew was actually possible for you. You're going to experience profound emotional healing and release. Okay? You're going to become the best version of yourself, fully aligned with your soul's purpose, with who you actually are, and not getting lost in the chaos and the noise of society. You're going to start living a life filled with meaning and purpose and spiritual fulfillment. You're going to start living authentically to who you are actually supposed to be, free from all your past trauma, all your limiting beliefs, all your emotional wounds that have kept you stuck in that limited sense of self, and so much more you're going to experience with the spiritual mastery program. So, if all of this sounds good and you're like, hell yeah, I want to actually start awakening this mastery within myself, I'm going to invite you to book a discovery call with me. And in this complimentary 15 to 30-minute discovery call, we're actually going to go deep into helping you identify if this mastery program is actually a good fit for you. Okay. So I'm going to be asking questions, just getting to know more about you so that I can actually see if whatever solutions I offer are a good fit for whatever you're going through. And if not, no commitment, no hassle. I'll just tell you, you know what? I wish you all the best in your journey. Maybe I'm not the coach for you. But if you maybe have questions or like, I want to say yes to this, maybe I'm unsure, but you're like, I really, really want to awaken this part of myself and release all these things that have been keeping me stuck in cycles of pain and suffering, then I'm going to invite you to book that discovery call with me and hopefully join my spiritual mastery program. So you can scan the QR code on your screen or check out the link down below in the description box. And I hope I will get to see you on the other side. Sending you so much love and wishing you an amazing week of being better than you actually are right now as you're watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe and also click on the notification bell. See you on my next video, and love and bless.